All right, everybody. Hey, how you doing? It's Barry B. I'm back with So You Wanna Buy a House. Man, this is episode 3. It's going pretty fast. Episode 3. I wanna welcome my loyal listeners. Only episode 3 for my loyal listeners and any new listeners. Remember, we're talking about home ownership, and I'm giving you the tips that you need to know, the things that you need to know so you can make the best decision to buy a new home. So, like I said, episode 3. Wow. It's going kind of fast here. All right. So remember the first episode, I kind of talked about planning. Second episode, we talked about credit. Now I want to talk about the 5 stages of home ownership, the 5 stages of home ownership. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's jump into it. First thing, everybody always wants to go and look at homes. I get that all the time. Can we go look at these homes? Well, you have to do your planning, get your credit right, and then you have to understand the stages of home ownership. You don't want to just go start going looking at a house or go look at houses without understanding what you're going to be doing. Okay, so let's take a look at those 5 stages or 5 steps, 5 stages of home ownership. All right. Stage 1, prepare for the costs. All right. There's going to be costs. One thing that people like to talk about, they like to talk about, you can pay less a month in a house note than you can in rent, which is true. But you also need to understand that there are costs associated with buying a new home. There are costs. All right. So the first thing I want you to understand is your payment. Your house payment. We call it the house payment. Some people call it the mortgage payment. Something that we call PITI. PITI, and that stands for P is the principal. That's how much the home is, how much you're borrowing. I is the interest. And interest is just the fee that they charge for loaning you the money. Taxes, well, you got to pay taxes, property taxes, school taxes, all those. And insurance. You need to have homeowners insurance on your house. Just like when you buy a new car, you got to have insurance on that new car when you drive it off the lot. Same thing with a home. All right. So before you fall in love with a home, set yourself a budget. All right. Know your income and expenses. Your income, that's how much money is coming in. All right. You want to add your monthly expenses. Add those all up. Light bill, water bill, cable, car note, insurance, all of those bills, however much you spend on groceries, all of that, your entertainment, all of that. And you're going to deduct it from your net income. And your net income is what your check looks like after you pay the taxes. Okay. So you want to know your income and expenses. All right. Second thing, you want to set priorities. Something that my aunt used to tell me a long, long, long time ago. Needs and wants. What do you need as opposed to what's something that you want? Okay, so you want to set your priorities and get your needs taken care of, and then the wants come later. Number 3, track your spending. Know what you're spending your money on. Know where your money is going, okay? A lot of times we don't know. Some of these places have that auto bill where they just take it out, and you don't even know. You need to know where your money is going. All right. So a mortgage payment, it's all about what you can comfortably afford. Okay. So what you can comfortably afford. Now, some lenders say 28% of what 28% of your income should be going towards your mortgage payment. Okay. So if you take your income before taxes and you multiply by 28%, you should get how much you can do it comfortably. So let's say you make $5,000 a month. 28% of that is $1,400 a month. Okay. Now some you can go a little higher, but that's a good rule of thumb to use. Okay. Debt to income ratio. Now, these are things that the mortgage company is going to look for, and we're going to talk about that a little later. What the mortgage company is going to look for when they're determining how much home you can afford. Now, remember, with credit is just one of the things that gets you in. Credit gets you to the next step. Now, once you get to that next step, now they're going to determine how much you can borrow. They say they already figured out you can borrow when your credit is good enough. Now it's how much. Debt to income ratio. That's your debt related to your income. A good benchmark is 36% of your gross income. They don't want your bills to be 36% of your income. Okay. All right. Stage two is getting your loan and your pre-approval. All right. So let's talk about those different types of loans. All right. You have what's called a fixed rate and adjustable rate. All right. Fixed rate is just that. The rate, the percentage is set, doesn't change. That basically means your payment, your house note, your mortgage payment and insurance is going to be the same. The interest is going to be the same from the first month to the last month. Doesn't change. I don't care what happens. That's a fixed rate. And that's really what you want to go for. Okay. Adjustable rate means the rate adjusts. It changes. So a lot of times you can start out with a lower payment because the rate is lower. But then over a certain amount of time, depending on what the Fed does and what interest rates do, the market does, that rate can go up or down. So you can end up paying more or less for your principal and interest. All right. So you really want to take a look at those when you're talking to a mortgage, a loan officer. Okay. Fixed rate is the way to go on that. All right. Now, on a previous episode, I think that was episode 2, I talked about the different types of loan products. You have FHA loan, which is a bank insured loan. You only needed a 580 score or more, and you only have to put 3.5% down. Conventional loan with 620 score and usually 5 to 10% down. Then you have VA loans for veterans. There's USDA loans for buying property in rural areas. So there's a lot of different programs, and there are others. Okay, so if we're looking at first-time home buyers, one of the good things, FHA is very good for those first-time buyers because it's a lower credit score, and also you don't need as much down payment. So a lot of first-time buyers use the FHA loan. Okay. Now, a lot of counties, and if I'm here in Houston, the Houston area, but Harris County, Houston, they have down payment assistance programs to help you with the down payment and closing costs. So the down payment, so like I said, for FHA loan, 3.5%. So $100,000 house, 3.5%. That's $3,500 down payment. Okay. A conventional loan, $200,000 house, 5%. That's $10,000 down. Okay. But they do have programs that help you with that, and depending on what your credit looks like, will determine if you qualify for those additional programs. All right. So down payment and closing costs. What are closing costs? Okay. Closing costs are the fees that are associated with buying a house. And those fees include loan origination fees. And that's basically what you're paying the loan officer or the mortgage company for the loan. There's discount points where they give you an opportunity to buy down the interest rate. You can pay a fee to get the interest rate lower. Appraisal fees. We'll talk about appraisal. Title insurance. And that's just, that insures you losses resulting from defects in the title, like somebody has a lien on the house or outstanding taxes. There's a title search is done to make sure that the property is free and clear. You don't want anybody else coming later on, 5 years later, and saying that, this is grandma's house and, she left it to me and nobody called me and told me they were selling it to you. So this protects you against that. And then there's other prepaid costs. You got lenders, may require you to pay home insurance in advance, property taxes, and they will give you all of this in what's called a good faith estimate, and it kind of gives you an estimate of how much it's going to cost for you to buy this home. Okay. Survey fees, that just shows where the boundaries are, location, and the legal description, and there are other fees associated with that. Now, stage 3 is to get out. Now you can get out and start looking for a home. Okay. You get you a good realtor. Now, it doesn't matter if you're buying a new home, new construction home, or an existing home. You need a realtor. All right. A realtor works for you. He helps you with buying a home. And you know, the best thing about a realtor, and when you're buying a home, you don't have to pay him. The person that's selling the house pays him. So you got somebody working for you and you don't have to pay him. All right. And they'll give you advice on things that you should do, and basically to help you make better decisions. These new home sales, new home counselors. All right. You have to understand, those counselors, they work for the builder. They don't work for you. So you need somebody to work for you. Okay. So get that offer. Get you a realtor. Now, when you do find the house that you want, you're going to put an offer in on it. And you're going to put what's called earnest money down. Earnest money is like a deposit. And it's usually 1% of the purchase price. So a $200,000 house is about $2,000. And that deposit is there to secure that, hey, I want to buy this house and I'm serious about buying this house. And you're going to have to pay that. Another thing that you can do, whatever areas that you're looking to move in, drive the neighborhood. You know, go see what it's like during the day. Go see what it's like at night. Go see what it's like on the weekends. Before work, go drive through it. After work, go drive through it to see how everything looks. All right. Stage 4. So now let's look at this. So we've got our money. Okay. Now we're looking at looking at the home, and then we finally find the home that we like. Oh, I like this home. This is it. This is the one. You put an offer in on it. You put your earnest money down. They send it to the seller, and the seller says, okay, we'll do that. We'll accept it. And they accept your offer. Okay. They sign the contract, and now you have a signed contract. And now it's time to get that mortgage process going now. Now, remember, at the beginning, that was what's called a pre-approval. That was trying to getting all your things together, getting your paperwork together that you have to give them. Now, once the seller accepts your offer, you usually have between 30 and 60 days before you close a loan. And closing a loan, that's when you sign the papers, you get the keys. Okay. The lender will usually send you a loan estimate, and it's going to be have the approximate interest rate, what the approximate payment will be, what the approximate closing costs will be. Read that carefully. If you see anything that's not right, bring it to that mortgage company's attention. So the mortgage company will verify documents and information during this time. Because remember, I told you it's a 30 to 60 day period. Usually it's around 30 to 45 days, but it can get a little longer. They might ask you for more documentation. Now, here's something that you're going to need during that pre-approval process. Driver's license. Okay. You're going to need bank statements. You're going to need W-2s, at least the last 2 years. You're going to need your 1040, at least the last 2 years. All right. So these are all items that you're going to need. If you have any other accounts, 401k, stocks, if you have any other property, you're going to need to see all that. All right. So now during this process, they might ask you for more information. And if they ask you for anything else, you're going to provide it. Time is of the essence when your contract has been accepted. Remember, you got 30 to 60 days. Time is of the essence. All right. The mortgage company will then have the home appraised. And an appraisal, that's just them confirming the value of the home. Okay. So you have the home, you offer 200,000, they accept it. Well, they're going to come out and see, because you want a loan, you want to borrow 200,000. So they're going to come out and see to make sure that home is worth 200,000. And so they come out, and some of the things that they use to determine are comparables in the area. What do other homes in the area that are similar to that one? Well, how much are they going for? The condition of the home, location, the features, the size, improvements, all of those go toward the appraisal. Now, this is done all during that 30 to 60 days, remember. Also, you want to get a home inspection. Now, home inspection and a home appraisal are two different things. The appraisal is the mortgage company. The inspection is you, okay? So what you want to do is you want to get that inspection. That inspection tells you the condition of the home. If there's any problems with it, and you want to take a look at the roof, plumbing, electrical, the foundation, all of that. You want to, they're going to be checking to give you the condition of the home. And then depending on, what condition the inspector says, you can go back to the seller and say, hey, this wiring needs to be updated because it's not up to code. And so then the seller has a choice of either doing it, or then you can cancel the contract. But that's going to be something that we'll talk about that later. But a home inspection is very important. Okay, usually around $300 to $500, depending on who you get, is going to be a home inspection, and you want to be present also, because a lot of times they'll let you come in and they'll show you things. Okay, and a good inspector is going to they're going to take pictures for you, and they're going to explain to you what's going on with the home. Okay, now you get to stage 5, the closing. All right, so now you went through all of that, and the mortgage company has approved the final loan. Because remember, that other one was a pre-approval. Now they've approved the final loan. Okay, it's been reviewed and they approved it. You're going to get what's called a closing disclosure. That's going to be, that's going to have all the amounts and the costs that you have to pay and that you're getting back, credits and charges. All right, and closing costs, they're usually 2 to 5% of the home price. Okay. When you go to that closing, things that you're going to need ID, social security card. You're going to need a cashier's check for that down payment and closing costs. Because remember, they're going to give you the paper to say the disclosure, and usually give it about 3 days ahead of how much it is. So you're going to know how much money you need to bring. And it needs to be in the cashier's check. No checks. Or it can be in a money order depending on the amount. But no checks, no cash, okay? Three documents that you're going to have to sign because we're ready. Now, one thing, it's a lot of paperwork, so get your hand ready. Do your little workouts with your hand and stretch your hand out because you got some documents to sign. One first document, deed of trust or the mortgage. Those are the documents that put a lien on the property as collateral for the loan. All right. Then you have the promissory note. That's a legal agreement that you will make payments and where to send them. And then you have the closing disclosure. It is an itemized list of your final credits and charges. They tell you where every dollar, where every penny is going, where it's going and what's coming back. All right. And then you'll give the representative your cashier's check that's going to pay for your down payment and closing costs and other fees. And how long it takes from the offer to closing to when you get your keys, about 4 to 6 weeks. So you want to prepare for that. I get a lot of people, I ask them, when do you want to move? I want to move next month. 4 to 6 weeks that's minimum of how long it's going to take to get to move into a new home. That's once your offer is accepted. That's not going into getting pre-approved and going looking for a home. I've had people, we've looked for a home for over a month. We could never find one that they actually like. So you're not going to see it. Usually you don't see the first one you see. All right. And once all the documents are signed and the loan has funded, you get the keys and you have your new home. All right. So it's a lot, but it's really not. If you go through the steps and if you're prepared, going back to that my first episode, planning, being prepared. If you prepare for everything, nothing would jump at you. Nothing will surprise you. I was already ready for this. What document you need, there it is. Okay. That's how you want to have this. So the smoother it is, that means you can go on and do that and have your home, and you can start moving into your home and enjoying your new home. Okay. That is the third episode, the 5 stages of home ownership. And we're going to take a look at pre-approval, getting pre-approved. I'm going to get more in depth in pre-approval because I kind of glanced over it. I went over just a little bit, but we want to get a little bit more into it. So that's going to be our next episode. All right. So remember, you can go to my IG, Instagram at So You Want to Buy a House. You can also go to my another Instagram I have is Spring Homes by Barry B. My Facebook is Homes by Barry B. Twitter, Homes by Barry B. My website, www.homesbybarryb. So you can go to any one of those. Now, one thing, if you have a question that I haven't addressed, or you have more specific, you can always email me at barryb@kw.com, or you can send a message on my Instagram, message on my Facebook. You can give me a call, 832-786-1270, any one of those. And I will answer that question, or either on the next episode, if that's what we're going to really talk about, or you can, we'll just listen to it, on my next episode, or I'll send you a message, a direct message, or give you a call, however you want me to do that. All right. So I want to thank everyone for coming, or not coming. I want to thank everyone for listening to episode 3 of So You Wanna Buy a House. And so I want you to be blessed, and I'll see you next time.